If you've ever thought to yourself, I should be more successful than I am, this video will help you win. To win in life, because life wants you to win, is to be in the devotion to becoming all that you can be, to constantly shifting out of the constraints and the fears that inevitably come across our minds, and integrating this sort of freedom into our body so that every act, every offering, every piece of our creative expression is coming from this place of wanting to help, of wanting to purely offer your gifts to the world. And that's how you win, and that's exactly what life wants of you. So in this video, I really want to help you dissolve the shame that's holding you back from being successful, from living the life that you want to live. I want to help you rewire your mindset and also become more integrated and whole as a creative human, which is going to help you do the work that's going to impact the world. So to begin, I actually want to read out of this really amazing book, Blue Truth by David Data. There's this extremely short chapter that just strikes me to my core. The chapter is entitled, Give Everything Now. You are either withholding your love in fear or giving your deepest gifts. Right now and in every moment, you are either closing or opening. You are either stressfully waiting for something, more money, security, affection, or you are living from your deep heart, opening as the entire moment and giving what you most deeply desire to give without waiting. If you are waiting for anything in order to live in love without holding back, then you suffer. Every moment is the most important moment of your life. No future time is better than now to let your guard down in love. Everything you do right now ripples outward and affects everyone. Your posture can shine your heart or transmit anxiety. Your breath can radiate love or muddy the room in depression. Your glance can awaken joy. Your words can inspire freedom. Your every act can open hearts and minds. Opening from heart to all, you live as a gift to all. In every moment, you are either opening or closing. Right now, you are choosing to open and give fully, or you are waiting. How does your choice feel? When I first read that hit me like a ton of bricks, because there's so many places in my life where I'm waiting to fully give all of me. I have all of these creative ideas. I have this vision of what I want to create, but it's someday. It's once I have the resources. I'll be able to love like that once But anytime you're waiting, you're disempowered, right? That's where the should comes from. I should be more successful than I am, so I'm actually just gonna kind of play in the story of staying small. Because, I don't have it, so I might as well just be right about my own idea of who I think I am. I should be more successful, so I have to keep that separation intact by doing the things, believing the ideas about myself, and keeping this mindset of limitation. Now, I really want to be clear about mindset work and its limitations. Mindset is not everything. It's a huge part of the equation, but it's just not everything. The soma set, you could say, is the bulk of what's actually happening in our systems, right? 80% of the signals are sent from the gut, the body, to the brain, while only 20% is sent down. So we largely experience and adapt to the world through our body, our nervous system, but it does take the mindset work to help us get into a different state of integration, a different embodiment of the person that we think we can be. Now it's nuanced. In this culture of manifestation, they're just believe it, then you'll see it. And it's that's true, but that's only half the equation, right? You have to open as that desire, living it, breathing it every moment, as David says. And the way that relates to your creative expression, to the business that you're building, is stop waiting for something to save you. Stop waiting for a miracle. Stop waiting to go viral. Stop waiting for X, Y, and Z. And instead, ask, How can I be an active participant? How can I co-create miracles? How can I create more surface area for magic to happen? Yet remain completely unattached of those outcomes. Because if I'm still attached, if I'm controlling my process because I want an outcome, I'm operating from fear. So I'm going to create the energetic match of fear in my outcome. Whereas if I'm just in the devotion and expression of my highest creativity as my gift to the world, I'm coming from a place of love and openness, so I will energetically attract and magnetize the outcomes, the reciprocation, the reception that is also love and openness. Now, nobody wants to hear this because we want to try to control our processes, we want to try to control outcomes. Great, do that, but how's that working for you? And if it's working on the outside, how do you feel on the inside? I'm all about helping you dial in that sort of inner game so that the growth that you experience out in the world is a reflection and can be sustained, right? Because I would argue that most of these people that you see as overnight successes, that had the miracle, that went viral, that have the thing that you want, a lot of them can't sustain it because they didn't really build the foundation in their body to be able to hold the capacity of the money, of, in certain extreme circumstances, of the fame, of the responsibility. I mean, a lot of people that I see circulating my world are people that really want to start, especially service businesses, but they don't want the responsibility of working with 5-10 clients a month. So there's some dissonance there, right? Like, we have to be all in to what we're trying to give to the world. Like, we have to be all in on our offering, right, for it to be sustainable. So the problem with thinking that you should be more successful is, are you really all in, right? I would say every human being brushes up against shame in some way. There's shame that has been digested into our system at some point in our lives and is playing its course. Shame for being too much. Shame for expressing your creativity and the world rejected you. Shame for not knowing how to honor the wild and darker desires of your heart, whatever the heck it is, right? So we embody the shame and that gets stored and coded into our body and our nervous system that causes us to close, that causes us to stay small. That's why you aren't successful. Now, I've experienced the same exact thing, and for the rest of my life, I will be working through and dissolving shame that I've adopted from the time I was a kid, right? You're never finally there. There is no there, but there is a way of being that helps you become more free continually as life presents you these blockages, right? Shame is the number one blockage that I see impact all creative individuals. The nuance of that is because I believe that most of our shame is installed through creativity and sex, which are actually sort of the same thing, right? So when we have this fundamental story of shame in our body around our creative expression, no wonder why we're not going to see the results that we want, because we have the governor on, right? We have this limitation, we have this self-imposed ceiling that is telling us that it's not safe, or that it's no use, that it's helpless, it's hopeless, you're worthless. All of these really gnarly stories that are real, right? They're not true, but they're operating, keeping us small. So the way that we can begin to work with shame is just begin to embrace and love it and question it. Be curious about it, have a conversation about it. Obviously, this is not advice for any medical mental health. I'm a firm advocate in seeing a somatic therapist, helping you blast that shit out of your system by feeling it fully, like assuming the shape of it, leaning so far into it that you've embodied it, you've acted as it, you've opened as the shame, and you've liberated it from being stuck in your body, right? So much nuance, I won't speak to it. I am not a therapist. But beginning to have that self-inquiry and that somatic inquiry around your blocks, I'm speaking of shame because it's the most common thing that I see that's been in my life, the people that I've worked with, and just friends and family. You could be different, but that's a great starting place, right? So it involves shifting our mindset around trying to defend a narrative and or collapse into an old narrative, and instead just become curious. just become curious about our own narrative that we've been living in, that I've been living in. Oh, like I kind of close when I feel like my work isn't getting out into the world, when people aren't touched by my work, when I don't know, there's silence, I don't know if this helps somebody. I close. Why is it that I close? And then you can pull the thread from there. I won't start doing that because I can just talk for 5 minutes about pulling the thread and making a story up, right? But get curious about your own limitation. Really question its validity. Like, is it true? Like, is it true that I am worthless or hopeless as a creative human? Like, again, like I like to be crass with myself, but I just like to call bullshit on my own limitations, because it's like, it's so invigorating to realize, man, like at any point I can change the idea of me that I'm showing up as. It doesn't mean that one day I'm fundamentally different. It just means that I'm greeted with opportunities day in and day out to show up, to become a different version of me for myself each and every day, one little step at a time or one quantum shift at a time, however your life tends to work. I notice that some people are either really slow, gradual change or just quantum overnight shifting. Again, that doesn't solve all the things. That's not the overnight success thing. It's just that one moment, one revelation, one breakthrough can really start to lead you down a different track. So in order to really start winning as a creative human, if you're running a one-person business or you're an artist, whatever this might be, is to really start to shift your mindset to a place of curiosity, begin to embody the feelings that you resist feeling, allowing them the space to move through and mobilize, to cry them out, to scream them out. You become much more resourced and available to create with all of you from that place. So you can start winning more when you show up more fully, more expanded, less constrained, and the work that you create is just going to naturally have that texture of a fucking radically empowered you. You're also going to probably have more energy to be committed and devoted, because I see so many people that want to commit like 75% towards building their business, towards their creative vision, whatever it is. But as far as I'm concerned, 75% is a no. If it's not 100%, it's a no. Of course, there might be nuance. But I'm all about like, if you're not wholeheartedly committed to what you want to give to the world, then your only purpose right now is to figure out what you are wholeheartedly committed to giving to the world. The world doesn't want a half-assed you. Like, I'm sorry. The world wants the radical 100% all in. I'm all in on me. Here's my gift now, today. It'll change and evolve tomorrow, but here's the expression from my wild heart that is 100% all in right now. That's what the world wants. And the people that are doing that are the people that are winning. They're the people that are inspiring you just by the way that they talk. They're the people that have created that business, that have built that home, that have created that retreat sanctuary center on the property that is just like, seems so unattainable, but they're the people that expand you. So let them expand you. Let the people that inspire you and expand you be the evidence for what's possible for you, but also let them shine the light on the work that you need to do on yourself to get to the place where you can win. Because life wants you to win so badly. You have to step in and co-create that with life, going, I can co-create miracles. I can co-create magic. I want to win. Life wants me to win. How can we do this together? And you will be tested, and you'll be met with resistance, all of the things, to continually deepen your devotion to who you are and what you're giving to the world. Because as far as I'm concerned, and I know this firsthand, right? Like, I've struggled so much with like really knowing who I am or knowing what my purpose is in this moment. And anytime I've been confused or doubtful of my purpose, those have been the seasons I've struggled in the external. The more that I can just be unwavering in this moment, it's always changing, right? But unwavering in my devotion to my purpose in this moment, to impact the world through good design, to open the hearts of men to be more creatively expressed and give their gifts to the world, to help ambitious creatives design, whatever it is. It doesn't have to be your career, right? But the more that I've just been clear on what my purpose today is, the more I've been able to materialize, create, and manifest what I actually really desire out of life. But to do that, it takes shifting your mindset to curiosity, to freedom, to sort of eradicating the fear in your system that's existing as shame, which is a lifelong practice, and I highly recommend seeking out professional help for that. Those are the things that are going to help you become more fully embodied as a creative individual, so that you are creating with all of you. And the world feels when you're creating with all of you, when you're giving your gift from a place of love, because the energy that you put into the creation of your gift, of your business, of your art, that is what the world feels. So if it's coming from fear, i.e. if you're trying to control the outcomes, or you're trying to have everyone else understand you, you're gonna be met with fear, right? Or the expressions of fear. If you're coming from the purity of love, this is my gift, this is what I want to freely give, without attachment to outcomes, you'll be received in that light. Now, of course, as an entrepreneur, we have to start to dance with, okay, what's actually, by the data, what's working, this and that, but we can't stray from the core, right? We can't stray from the core of our essence, of our creative being, of our purpose that's trying to move through us. I believe right now we've shifted into an era where you can't half-ass anything. You can't do something just for the money anymore. Maybe that worked for the last 100 years, but believe me, I've tried to just build a quick business to try to be like, let's see if I can just make some cash. I'm not really passionate about this. It's been no, slap in the face. In fact, I've just lost money, right? So, get real honest with yourself about what that limitation is for you. Shame's a great place to start. Realize the reason why you're not as successful as you want to be is because of that block, and because of collapsing into that story, and begin to get curious about that story, feel through the limitations that are stored in the body and the nervous system. This is a long process, but begin to open to them, feel them, move with them, and see how that impacts your creative work. See how you can start to celebrate the small wins that emanate. Oh my gosh, I got a potential project that I thought was out of my league. Or oh my gosh, I made this connection and this person's connected to all these things that I've been desiring to step into. Really celebrate those things, because if you don't take the time to celebrate your little wins, you're not gonna really enjoy what you think your desire is, the big win or whatever it is. So if you want to start winning, that's a great place to start. This work is nuanced. It's exactly what I help ambitious creatives do. If you're interested, join my newsletter below. But in the meantime, I'm just grateful that you're here. You've listened to me chat, and I'm excited to see you in the next one. Be sure to subscribe, and yeehaw. Ciao.